Hello, dear students. Hello, Koti. Hello, Nicolas. Hello, Maria Fe. Maria Paz. Hello. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Johan. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. It's story time with Padre Tony. Here we have, what do we have here today? It's going to be something about Christ the King, something about Caesar Augustus, actually it's Tiberius Caesar, Divi Augusti Filius Augustus, Tiberius Augustus, son of the god Divus Augustus, son of the god Augustus. Looks like we have the Roman Empire. Here we have all in yellow, Spain, Africa, Italy, Greece, because he lives in Rome, and Pontius Pilate lives here in Israel, governing the Israelites, the Jewish people. On the back side of the coin, Augustus put his mom sitting on a throne, Pontifex Maximus, okay, Supreme Pontiff. And here we have, just to kind of give you an idea, a coin of Jesus. There's not really coins of Jesus, but we're going to understand why. And instead of a map, we have the Church Universal. And then we have on the back side of the coin, of course, the mother of Jesus, Blessed Mother, together with her baby. Okay? And here we see the words, A él la gloria y el poder por los siglos de los siglos. To him be the glory and power for the generations and generations, for ages and ages. Okay? Now, it's a cool story about a denarius with Caesar. You know the story. It's going to be really good. But I'm going to present the story in context, okay? Remember now, Jesus spent 3 parables teaching these Pharisees and Sadducees that he really did have the authority. He taught them that because they didn't accept the baptism of John, they didn't convert, that the prostitutes and other sinners will get into heaven even before they do. Now remember, you've got Pontius Pilate, you got Caesar, you got some really smart people. You got Aristotle, Plato, but in a certain sense, there's nobody higher than the Sumos Sacerdotes and the Pharisees and these guys, because they are the chosen people. Okay, God revealed his mystery to them and to nobody else. And so other people, the Greeks, in a little bit of a way, in an oblique way, but directly to them through Abraham, through Moses, through the prophets, and now through Jesus. And these guys are the head of the Pueblo Elegido. Received a formation since they were 2 years old. Now they're adult men. They have the sacred scriptures by memory, the law by memory, everything. Really so astute that they were able to convince Pontius Pilate to not bother them. When Rome conquered something, that's it. You now became Roman, you spoke Latin, that's it. The Jews, because of the Sumos Sacerdotes and Pharisees being so intelligent, they were able to work a deal with Rome, and now they could still have their own worship. They didn't have to worship Roman gods. Everybody else had to worship Roman gods, but Rome made a parenthesis with the Jews, okay? So these guys are really smart, really powerful, really intelligent, okay? Now, Jesus, here we are. It's just before the week of the Passion. Who is Jesus? Well, let's see. He was baptized by John the Baptist, and John the Baptist said, "This is the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world." And during the baptism, God the Father, in front of everybody, said, I don't know how to say the word in English now, but booming voice, "This is my beloved Son, whom I am well pleased." Wow! And a dove came upon him, the Holy Spirit. A lot of people saw that. Then let's see what happens. Yeah, it's at a wedding feast of Cana. And he takes, his mom says, "Hey," and so he says, "Okay, Mom." And he makes water into wine. Amazing wine, as we know from the Bible. And that spread throughout the land, that miracle, as we know from the Bible. What else? Let's see. Cured a bunch of sick people that followed him into the desert. Gave them food with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He multiplied it, fed 20,000 people, 5,000 men plus their wives and children. 20,000 people with 5 loaves. Yeah, that pretty much got around. Everyone knew about that. Walked on water. Calmed the storm. Hey, storm, basta. Stops. Hey, Lazaro's got gusanos, got maggots eating his lips and eyeballs. He's dead in the grave for 4 days. Hey, Lazaro, come, Lazarus. Boom. Everybody's talking about this, including the sumos sacerdotes and the Pharisees. So then they meet with Jesus. They say, by what authority are you cleaning the temple? This is not fair. And Jesus says, look, the prostitute's going to get in before you, first parable. Secondly, I know you're going to kill me, but when you kill me, that will be the renovation of the church, and I will be the cornerstone. I will be the angular stone. Thirdly, in you killing me, that's going to be the banquet celestial. God, remember, always wanted to be one. The two shall become one flesh. It happens in matrimonial. And he made one flesh earlier with his mother. He took on the mother's flesh, and his flesh is pure Virgin Mary. He doesn't have daddy flesh and mommy flesh like you and I have. He just has mommy flesh, pure Virgin Mary. That's why Jesus is so wonderful, one of the reasons. Okay, so he says, look, when you kill me, I'm going to complete the marriage. And I'm going to now not just be one flesh with one person, which is amazing. I'm going to be one flesh with all of humanity who want to be. And they're going to drink my blood. And our blood becomes Jesus's blood. Remember that. Pure asado, pure Eucharist. And the more we are with Jesus in the Eucharist, the more we become totally like Jesus. That's the plan, to become Christian. So you know what happened when he explained all that to them? So they left. You know what they did? They had a meeting. They said, well, what are we going to do? We got to trap him. We got to trap him, and so the Herodians will arrest him. The Herodians are minions, say, of Caesar and Poncio Pilato. So you have the sumos sacerdotes, the smart guys, the authorities of the spiritual things. The Pharisees, the authorities of the law and philosophy and all that stuff, okay? And the Herodians, Herod is the king of the Jews at this point. We know he's a false king. King David was a real king. When King David ruled, everything was under the power of King David. They listened to King David. Nobody listens to Herod. He's fat, and he's drunk, and he's with a bunch of women all the time. He's just a false king. But anyway, he has power. So the Pharisees link up with the sumos sacerdotes and the Herodians. Now the Herodians, for Herod to keep his power, if somebody says, I'm a king, Herod's going to get really scared or whatever. He tried to kill Jesus, his dad, King Herod Antipas, I think. Tried to kill Jesus when he was little, remember? Wiped out all the little kids in Belen because he wanted to kill Jesus. So he just killed every little kid he could find in Bethlehem. So anyway, Herod is not happy that Jesus is there. So they all link up together. And here comes the story then. They send their minions. Minions are like henchmen. Yeah, let's do what our boss says, and we're going to beat somebody up. Yeah. Just underlings, henchmen. Minions. You've seen the story with minions. They're minions. They send their minions, the sumos sacerdotes and Pharisees, and together with the minions of Herod. And they all come up to Jesus and they say, by memory, Jesus, how you doing? Yeah, hey, we have so much respect for you. You speak the truth. We know that. And you teach the ways of God according to the truth. Insinuating that their bosses don't. They're pretending to really like Jesus, okay? And we know, Jesus, that you don't regard the opinion of other men. You don't care about social status. So you'll just say what you really mean. Not afraid of other people's opinion of you. Like our bosses, they're always concerned about other people's opinion, which is true. That's the only reason they didn't kill Jesus right away. They were concerned about the opinion of the lay people. The lay people loved Jesus. They saw that he was obviously going to be somebody great with all the miracles that he did and all the wisdom that comes from his mouth. So they say, yeah, and we know that you don't care. So we have a question for you. Una question, Noma. Is it right or not for we Israelites to pay tribute to Caesar with the tax? Or do we have to pay the taxes? At one time a year, I think they had to pay a denario, a little gold coin, and with an image of Caesar on it. So Jesus says, okay, show me the coin. Show me the coin, you hypocrites. So Jesus read their hearts. He looked like a superhero, but this is now God, true God and true man, and he can read hearts. He's reading your heart right now. He knows what's in your heart. He read their hearts and he said, hypocrites, double-faced people. Hi, Jesus, we love you. All right, we're gonna win. Our bosses are gonna be so happy. We're gonna arrest Jesus. Now you see, it's a good question, because if Jesus says, no, we're the Israelite, King David, you don't have to pay Caesar. Caesar's beneath us, which is true. In a way, Caesar was beneath them. But if he said that, then he would have been arrested. And if he said, Nah, it's okay, pay the tax. He's the boss. Then all the innocent people would have gone, oh, maybe he's not the Messiah, because rightly understanding because he's submitting himself to Caesar when the Messiah is greater than Caesar, rightly understanding. So Jesus doesn't want to scandalize anybody. Now remember, it's a parenthesis. Jesus gives us free will. And if we want to elect a king, he said, okay, I'll work with the king. Remember what happened when Lucifer said, I want my own place, I want my own place. And Jesus said, okay, I'll create a place for you. There's hell. And he made hell for Lucifer. And then when Adam said, you know what, I'm not following you. I know you told me to do these things, but I'm going to eat the apple. Okay. And then when the Israelite people said, hey, we want a king like the other nations, because in Israelites, they had a prophet that would answer directly to God. Every day they got messages from God. They knew exactly what to do. One day the people said, no, we want a king like the Syrians have a king, like the Egyptians have a king. Jesus says, okay. And here in the time, the people said, hey, we don't know about the law and Revelation, and we want Caesar. Okay. For God, it's not a big deal. He writes the story however you want to do it. He made David a great king. He didn't think they should have kings. It wasn't best for them. Better to go straight to God. But that's okay. I can work with that. Jesus can work with that, whatever system we have. And in this case, the system is that the Caesar was really doing a good job with his whole political power. Roads, everything. It was great. So it wasn't a bad thing. So Jesus says, okay, show me the coin. He says, look at this coin here. Whose image, this is the brilliant part. Whose image do you see on this coin? And whose title? Caesar. It's Caesar. Yeah. Okay. And Jesus says, that's fine. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, but give to God what is God's. Now this is where the teaching comes in. They left amazed, by the way. These minions, henchmen, like, oh my gosh, he's brillante. He got out of it. We had the perfect trap, and he slipped out of it with brilliance. But Jesus was also teaching them, because some of them might have converted. We know that some of the Pharisees converted, like, I can't remember his name right now, but some of them converted. Saulo converted into Pablo, okay? Nicodemo converted. So anyway, maybe some of them converted. And what Jesus is telling them is that, you see how this image is printed on a gold? By the way, where's Caesar right now? I don't know where he's in heaven or hell, where his soul is, but I guarantee you that his bones are in the earth. Where's Jesus? Where's Jesus' bones? Together with his flesh and glorified body in heaven, sitting on a beautiful throne. And that's the way it was then, and that's the way it is now. He's the King of Kings, the Rey de los Reyes. You remember what happened when Poncio Pilato, in a way, wanted to save him. He just acted out of fear. Poncio Pilato said, speak, help me help you. Don't you know that I have the power to either crucify you, send you to the crucifixion, or set you free? Can't you help me help you? Jesus calmly answers, you would have no authority were it not given to you by my Father. And if I were to move my little pinky, my Father would send a legion of angels to save me from this situation. But don't worry about it. Everything's under control. Amazing, right? That just gives you an idea that it's not about division of power and what Jesus is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, which we're going to celebrate in 2 or 3 weeks. He's the King of Kings. He's the King at this very moment of this confrontation. When these people are saying, Jesus, he's holding them into existence. But he's loving us and he's trying to teach us something. And what is he trying to teach us here? That we have his image printed on our hearts. Not on a little piece of gold, but on hearts of human beings. With the image of the Blessed Virgin Mary on there as well. Loving mother, our mother. And the Pharisees' job, the Sumo Sacerdote's job, was to give to God what is God's. So you give to Caesar what is Caesar, then you bring hearts to Jesus. And they weren't doing that. They were saying, no, he's a profeta nomás, he's just a prophet, that's cool. And everyone's saying, oh, Hosanna in the highest. And said, no. You see that? So they were preventing, they were not giving to God what is God's. And that's where it gets dangerous. Because now you're talking about the real king, the real relationship, okay? So what are we going to do about it? We don't live in a perfect times, medieval age, when the kings and the popes and everybody worked together and there was beautiful mass, beautiful liturgy, beautiful music, beautiful everything, beautiful big families. We don't live in those times. We live in times when it's a real question. You know, what president of what country is with Jesus, and what president is not. But we don't have to worry about that. You got to obey the laws, obviously, and remember that Jesus is in charge. And remember what he wants from you, to give to God what is God's. So your own heart, get that relationship right with Jesus. Why? Because in doing that, he purifies your heart. It's good for you to give your heart to Jesus because he can purify it. And then with a purified heart, you can go out into the world and be like Jesus. Really help people. Is that going to mean that you're going to suffer and die on the cross? I hope so, because it's great. But I don't want to do that right now. I don't want your death, but I want you to be like Christ, and I want to become like Christ. And it's a great glory, as we know, we celebrate the martyrs in the church. It'd be a great glory if we die for Jesus, if we die conforming our life to the cross. Unless a grain of wheat falls and dies, it shall not bear fruit. Okay? So let's remember that beautiful phrase. Don't forget this. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, no problem. But give to God what is God's. Okay? So we'll get together for question and answers later on. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Why is the mother of Caesar in the other side of the coin?
Good. Well, I have a question for you. Who's seated at the right hand of Jesus? The mother of God. The mother of God.
Oh, Virgin Mary.
Yeah. Who was seated at the right hand of Solomon when Solomon took the throne from his father David? Who do you have seated at his right hand side? His mother.
God.
His mother. This is a fact, chicos. This thing is a real coin that existed in history. Caesar put his mother on the back. That's the way kings did it. And that's the way I would do it. If I were more mature before my mom died, I would have put her on my right hand as on a throne. I didn't do that enough. I didn't respect my mom enough to say that she was the most important person in my life. Does that make sense? So, who's the most important person in the life of Jesus? Who does he love the most?
His mother.
His mother. Do you know what she is? She's the co-redentora. He gave her all the decision making. John, behold your mother. You guys, she's the boss. And you'll see that in a lot of people. They say, oh, Blessed Virgin Mary, but whoa. Whoa. Okay? Does that answer your question? Tyra, what was your question? I don't remember it.
That why is the mother of Caesar in the other side of the coin?
Yeah. Okay, so did you have a good enough answer?
Yeah.
Most important person other than him.
That his mother was the most important.
Yeah, and she had real power. Just like the Blessed Virgin Mary has real power. You got Jesus sitting on his throne, and on his right is his mother, the mother of God. Questions? Other question?
I have a question.
Okay.
Why all these fariseos, sumos sacerdotes, or the corruptos are all in contra of Jesus?
Oh man, good question. The question was, why are the sumos sacerdotes, the fariseos, the escribas, Herodianos, and not Rome, huh? Poncio Pilato was manipulated by them. He himself said, oh, you talk about king, watch this. What did Jesus say when Poncio Pilato wanted to set him free? Man, dude, help me out. I'm trying to help you. Give me something. I can set you free. And if you don't help me, I've got to crucify you because I'm afraid of those guys. Come on. And he said, don't worry about it. If I wanted to get out of here, I just wiggle my pinky and my Father will send a legion of angels to help me. I'm giving you the authority. My Father is giving you the authority. Just act according to your authority. It's amazing, the authority of Jesus. So in any case, the Romans weren't against Jesus. But the inside people, they were. And why? Why were they all against him? I don't know. I do know this, that they hated each other. The Pharisees hated the Sadducees. They all hated the Summa. They hated each other. But they all unified. They all unified in their hatred for Jesus. I don't know why they hated Jesus. I don't know. I don't know why they rejected. It's finally due to pride. Why did Satan sin? Why did Satan say, Joe? Pride. Why did Adam not tell Eva, no, Eva, I'm not going to bite the apple. We're going to trust in the Father. I don't know. Lack of trust in the Father. Demasiado confianza en ti mismo. Too much confidence in yourself and not enough trust in the Father. We ourselves, huh? How much time do you think about the Father? Tamira, how much time do you act caprichosa? Rondon, how much time do you do whatever you want to do and don't think about the Father? Jesus says, The power of life comes from my Father. And as He has the power to give me life, I have power to give you life. Jesus' life is from the Father. And watch this. His life is also doing the Father's will. My Father wants this. My Father, the will of my Father, the will of my Father, the will of my Father. And how many times do we think that? How many times do we think what my Father wants? We think, no, Joe. Right? And that's the whole trick in life. To realize that you are a being in relation. And you relate to the Father through Jesus Christ. Abajo la protección de la Virgen María.
Why did Jesus call them hypocrites?
Good. Why do they call them hypocrites? Because I forgot to tell a certain...
And not before?
Good question. Why do they call them hypocrites now, not before? I think before when they said, by what authority are you doing this, Jesus? It's not fair, man. They were just whining. They weren't being hypocrites. They were being little brats, malcriados. They weren't doing their job. They were quejándose, ¿me entiende? But now they're saying, oh, Jesus, I forgot to tell this part of the story. Oh, Jesus, we know that you're so wise and you're not intimidated by anybody and you do what you think is best and you're not going to say false things. Okay, entonces, if that's so, we have a question. Is it okay or not okay to pay tribute to Caesar? You see that? They're being false. They didn't really think. They might have thought that Jesus was really wise, but they didn't care. They didn't care about the truth, in my opinion. I can't judge their thoughts. So what we know this is that Jesus judged their thoughts, and He calls them hypocrites. Hypocrites is two-faced. Yes, Jesus, yes. Hey, we got to kill Jesus. Hey, everybody, Jesus is a good guy. He's so funny, he's so smart. Yeah, we're with Jesus. We'll invite him to the asado. Let's kill Jesus. ¿Me entiende? They were bad guys. Yes, Jesus, yes. Let's kill him.
Father, I have a question.
Okay, Melody?
Why does God want us to obey the authority?
Good. Why does God want us to obey or pay the tribute? What is the question?
Obey.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. God wanted us to obey the tribute paid to Caesar what is Caesar and give to God what is God's. Okay? So by the way, I told that whole first part of the story. Everyone said, hey, we want to have Caesar as our... Okay, that's cool. He's God. He can work with any system. Okay? So that's an important concept. But He is imprinted on every heart. The image of Caesar is imprinted on a little piece of gold. The image of God, the image of Jesus, is imprinted on our hearts. And so what we have to do is give this tribute to Jesus. That is to say, Melody, we have to go to Mass. And we have to prepare. If you're Maximo, maybe you have to serve at Mass. And if you're Amara, maybe you have to sing at Mass. You really have to give to God what is God. Why does God want you to do that? Is God saying, okay, good, they're adoring me, it makes me feel so good? No! He's doing it for you. Because you, by your very nature, are a being in relation. And you relate whether you deny it or not. Meaning, Lucifer, I don't want to be with God the Father. I'm going to go on my own. I'm going to go to hell. Come on, guys, come to hell with me. Lucifer, you're not quite clear on the concept. God's trying to help us, Melody. Be who we are. Who are you, Melody? You are a being in relation to God, who is a being in relation. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amante, amado, y amor. And I can only be a good being in relation if you relate to God well. Does that make sense? And you know that. Everybody take 30 seconds and reflect on your life of people that you know that they take God seriously. They really take Him seriously. Are they jerks or are they pretty good people? 90% of the time, they're pretty good people. Now reflect on your life of people who reject God. They're told about Jesus and they reject God. are those kind of people, they tend to do other stupid things? It tends to be the case. Or how about this? Find people who kill innocent babies. Find people who kill innocent babies for a living. They probably reject God, or if they, I don't want to get into judging people, but. So Melody, the answer is this. In order for you to be happy, you got to put first things first. And the first thing is this. You are being in relation. Prosopon means mirar hacia, persona, person. To be a being in relation, to look at the other. That's what you're designed to do by your very nature, the way the angels are persons. Miren, dogs, cats, birds, not persons. They never share an asado. They never go to mass. They never talk about things. They just live, happy. Okay? Whereas you, Melody, and all of you kids out there are beings in relation. And your first relation is that with God. If you don't get that right, you get nothing right. And reflect. Show me if you think. Tell me honestly. I want you to think for yourselves. Does that ring true with you? Does that seem right by you? That if you don't put your relationship with God right, that you get nothing of your relationships right? All the other relationships are going to be agitadas?
Is Jesus the king of the universe?
Yep.
Why doesn't the world obey him?
Good. Everyone understand the question of Beatrice? If Jesus is really the king of the universe, King of kings and Lord of lords, if that's really true, Rey de los Reyes, if that's true, why don't people obey him? Anyone have an answer for that? Anyone want to try to answer Beatrice's question? If he's so powerful, why don't people obey him?
He gives us
He gives us free will, says Fatima. What do you think of that, Beatrice? Good. That's good intervention there, Fatima. I'm glad to see you guys discussing this. What do you think, Beatrice? But why does he give us free will would be my question. If we're going to do bad things with it, why does he just take away our free will?
because he loves us.
I love Jesus. I love Jesus. You're not going to be a human being anymore. Does that make sense? Because he loves us. But listen, does anybody use their free will well? Who do we know that use the free will well? Excellent in their free will always. Can you think of anybody? I know I don't. Fiat Mihi secundum verbum tuum. Who said that? The Virgin Mary. And the thing is, she has the power of God to help you imitate her. She has the power of God, Amara, to help you leave Musica Gucci Gucci. I don't know if you listen to Musica Gucci Gucci. But if you live, or Instagram, Instagram, all that stupid stuff on the internet. They're trying to make your brain, they're trying to do a lava cabeza, do a brainwashing. Ojo, chicos. It's tough, because we use our free will and go click, click, click. Okay? God gives you the grace, but you have to ask for it. You have to pray. You have to go to confession, and you have to pray the rosary, pray to the Blessed Virgin Mary, that she will intercede, and you become a truly free person. Good. Mulse prayer, nomi Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Subtum presidium, confugimus Sancta Dei Genitrix, nostras deprecationes ne despicias necessitatibus, sera periculis cunctis libera nos semper, Virgo gloriosa et benedicta, nos cum pro la pia, nomi Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.